And what does it do for you? It allows you to pay off debt faster. It allows you to free up cash flow. And when you're able to free up that cash flow, it allows you to get multiple uses out of the same dollar to invest in other things. It's to put my money in a position to where I can pivot. And if we haven't learned anything else over these last few weeks, the ability to pivot is important. If you thought your retirement was going to hinge upon someone's stock market performance, think again. This is our, I'll call it, case study for today. It's related to Laura. Laura's 55 years of age, and she has great income. She has income of about $10,000 a month, and she's got a healthy savings as well. Because she has a healthy savings, I think there's just a lot of opportunity here. This is the ending cash flow. This isn't the cash flow where it started, but again, she has healthy cash flow. And the goal, her goal, is to eliminate this $284,000 mortgage. And within the next 4 years, because she's got about 27 years or so left on the mortgage, and ultimately put her money in a position to where she can focus on freedom. Well, when I look at that goal, I bypass this. I bypass savings. I go directly to financial freedom. But what she told me was her goal is to pay off this home so that she can focus on freedom. Okay. And these were the pieces that she wanted to discuss. It was, hey, I'm looking at a first position home equity line of credit, and I'm concerned about the variable rate. So whether it's a first or a second position, most people are concerned about the variable rate associated with that line of credit. And it's the cost. The cost to be able to have or achieve that product, being concerned about that. And then also the strategy. I'm just curious. And that's the reason why this question is sitting here. For those of you who have been on here a while, for those of you who are here for the first time, I'm very curious. What do you think, looking at this, I'll call it the structure of this profile, 55 years of age, decent income, decent cash flow, got a goal and concerned about a few problems. What is the most important piece you think I see? And if my regulars are there, someone's going to put in the comments, what's the goal? And that is true. The goal is absolutely very important. But a lot of times the goal that is provided to me, we actually have to peel back the layers to understand the true goal. While this is the goal she stated, I personally don't believe this is actually what her goal is. I think it's rooted here, but that's not the point. My question is, what do you think out of this profile, what is the most important piece? And the answer to that test is, it's the strategy. Meaning, she's got great income. That great income won't bring her freedom if she doesn't know how to use it. She's got great cash flow. The cash flow doesn't matter if she's spending it on trips and stuff and things and trying to keep up with people that don't care about her. The goal. Yeah, we can have a goal all day long. But if we don't apply the proper strategy to achieve that goal, it's going to be very difficult to get to it. So what I appreciated about her concerns was she was very adamant about, I think I understand velocity banking, but I am very unsure as to how this first position home equity line of credit is supposed to work. And I appreciated that because I think there's a lot of people who also fit in this bucket. They watch these gurus who talk about velocity banking, or they get into velocity banking and they're freeing up the debt. And I am absolutely one who says, hey, as your credit score improves, go after those lines of credit, not to use, just to have. So people end up with these first position or second position home equity lines of credit. But if you're not applying the strategy effectively, you can get yourself in trouble. So to me, the most important piece in this profile is making sure she understands the strategy. So that was the purpose of me wanting to do this live. I've talked this over with her, and as we talked earlier, I think the amount of time I spent with her in total may have been 40 minutes. But I hope this will serve also as just another guide to kind of help walk through and step through this process. What is her profile? Like, where does she currently sit today? It starts with she's got a home. And again, for most of us, our home is our largest asset. Yes, she's got some debt. Not a whole lot, about $31,000 in debt. Okay, the home is worth about $600,000. The balance on the mortgage is about $284,000. So that is what's owed today on the mortgage. And she's paying about a 4.6% interest rate on her mortgage, which equates to about a $3,000 a month mortgage payment. She's got about 27 years left on this mortgage. So the objective is can she eliminate this so that she can focus more on building wealth. And notice, yeah, she's got some credit card debt, but that wasn't even a part of the question. It was, I can handle this. She was not concerned about paying off this credit card debt. It was getting rid of this. And usually I ask questions like, well, what's the interest rate on these credit cards? Are we talking 19% or 20%? To me, these are probably more impactful to her credit profile. But again, I do what I'm told in most cases. And that is, hey, I want to eliminate this mortgage. What does that look like? And she does qualify for a first position home equity line of credit. So notice, this first position home equity line of credit is saying what? I am going to replace this mortgage with this item. So once this is done, this mortgage will no longer be there. This mortgage will be gone once we're done. But first, it's just understanding, one, where I fit. Do I understand the strategy and can I qualify? So she's got a $284,000 mortgage going after a $284,000 line of credit. And that line of credit, the interest only payment in month one on this line of credit based off the 7.65% interest rate would be about $1,825. So we're already making money if she shifted over to a first position, because the $1,825 a month interest only payment, which used to look like $3,056, there is a savings there. But again, that is interest only. If she only applies that interest only payment to this process, we'll never pay this home off. She'll get herself in a worse position. But the bottom line is this is the structure as of today. And again, the goal is to eliminate that $284,000 mortgage so that she can, again, as we started to peel back the layers, so that she can retire by 65. How old is she? She's 55. So we've got about 10 years to be able to knock this out. And one other piece that I don't normally add during this process is details on the line of credit. So I wanted to just spend a little bit of time here. And this is actually a line, she interviewed at several banks, but she's landing on first lien HELOC. We like first lien HELOC around here. They offer a pretty good product, specifically because they have a sweep account. So I'm absolutely a fan of first lien HELOC. The variable rate adjusts on the first day of each month. That's not unusual. That it is not unusual that the variable rate, or one, it's not unusual to have a first position home equity line of credit with a variable rate. Not a problem, not unusual. This one is somewhat unique. Most of us who have a line of credit, the performance or the interest on that line of credit is based on prime plus a percentage. This one is actually based off a 6-month T-bill index plus 3.75% more margin. Do you know what that means? And let's be clear. I don't know that I'm the best in understanding what that means, but here's the moral of the story though. They all function the same. Most lines of credit all have a variable rate, and that variable rate doesn't change by the hour. It's usually some performance over time. And as long as you're following the strategy, as long as you're following the process of driving your income through the line of credit, this doesn't even matter. Because it's also a higher rate. She was paying for, I'm sure someone in the comment at some point is going to say, wait a minute, why didn't she just apply her cash flow to the 4.6%? It's a lower rate. Like, I'm with you on all of that. The truth is, none of this matters if she's following the strategy, and we'll dig into the strategy. I did appreciate this because this is unique. There is a floor and or a ceiling cap, meaning the lowest it can go is 4.75, the highest is 13.65. My interest rate on my first position home equity line of credit has no ceiling. So yeah, it can become 30% if we allowed it to. Now, we do have the ability to lock it in, but my point is there's no ceiling. At least on this line of credit, and again, it's coming from first lien HELOC. Again, we like them around here. The ceiling on this is 13.65. I thought that was pretty good because that's still less than any credit card you could find. So I saw no issue with that. And then there are fees. And this was a part of her concern. She didn't understand the fees that she was seeing and whether or not she should be concerned about them is the question. And there's lender fees, there's title and recording fees, there's appraisal costs, like there's all of these different fees. Well, what I asked her to do was go back to your lender, go back to your current lender, leave first lien alone, go back to the current lender who has your mortgage and just ask, what would it cost to refinance? what would it cost to refinance the current mortgage that's at 4.6% to whatever the new rate would be because she wants to do a cash out refi? Just ask the question. And what she learned was we're talking about somewhere around 25 grand is what it would cost her to refinance. Versus if you add all of this up, and again, I get it, we don't have the title and recording costs, but if we were to just to add this up, we're talking about maybe less than 3 grand total to be able to refinance from a mortgage to a first position home equity line of credit. So is this enough? Do you feel like this is enough? If this is you and you had to make this decision on whether or not you were going to move forward with a first position home equity line of credit, is this enough information for you to say yes or no? I like the products. I don't think the 4.6% mortgage rate is bad. I hate the $3,000 a month mortgage. I hate it. $3,000 a month for $284. In my mind, I am still living in low interest rate times. $3,000 on a $284,000 balance mortgage to me is insane. So I do not like that. I'm not mad at the $1,825 monthly interest only payment on this line of credit, but that interest only payment still seems high to me. So my question to you is this enough information to make your decision? And I have to lean towards, I don't know that I have enough yet. So we need to dig into more detail. So this is where we start applying the strategy. You guys have seen this before, one of my favorite slides. Because as you start to eliminate debt, and how do you eliminate that debt? By getting multiple uses out of the same dollar. So you're driving your income through a debt tool, and you're using that debt tool to then eliminate debt. And as you eliminate debt, your ability to crush debt becomes larger. And as it becomes larger, it doesn't matter what the interest is. It doesn't matter whether the interest rate is based off the T-bill or based off prime. Doesn't matter because of the your ability to be able to crush debt at such a quick pace that this interest rate has no impact. And in addition, as I tend to forget about this slide, there's also other incentives. There's also other, I'll call it benefits to having a debt tool like a credit card that gives you cash back and different things like that. So there's other incentives as well. But my point is, if you're following the strategy, the interest will play very little role in your ability to be able to eliminate debt.